a notorious hoodlum by name Nwete Okechukwu, alias Momoni, was arrested and led operatives to their hideout at Mile 50, Abakaliki, wherein the following items, 2 were recovered: 1 AK-47 rifle, 1 assault La rifle, 1 locally made pistol, 1 machete, 2 jackknives, and assorted charms. The AK-47 rifle breech number was cross-checked and found to be the same police rifle that was carted away by the hoodlums from mobile police personnel killed at Obudo Divisional Headquarters on the 22nd May 2021. In a follow-up investigation, Ozigbo Jonah, alias Ojukwu, further led the operatives to another hideout at Umozeka community in Eza North local government area and Amikiaba in Ebonyi local government area, both of the states, where the gang members opened fire on sighting the police. During the exchange of firing, one Obina Ua was fatally wounded, while others escaped with bullet injuries. However, Reverend Pastor Louis Oko, a native of Paziza in Afiko North, Jude Mbam, Amos Ofoke, and Jude Onyibe were arrested and undergoing investigation. The following items now exhibit were recovered: 2 AK-47 rifle, 2 assault La, 3 pistol, 1 English Brownie, and the second one locally made. Then we also recovered Eastern Security Network Oath of Allegiance form. It is there, you can see. 2 remote control improvised explosive device, 2 dangerous wooden sticks with blood stains on them, and 2 jackknives. One of the suspects, Imban Jude, aka Stanza, admitted and confessed that his gang members were responsible for the attack and burning of INEC offices in Ebonyi and Eza North local government areas of the state on the 18th of May 2021. The suspects, among others at large, also claim responsibility of burning down of brass filling station located at Ogoja Road, Abakaliki, on the 19th of May 2021, maintaining that it was out of annoyance as their plan to attack INEC headquarters, Abakaliki, was not successful due to heavy security presence. The suspect concluded that the attack, burning of Fulani headsmen settlement located at Agara Zara Iboko in Izi local government area and Ozibo, Echiaba community in Ebonyi, were also executed by them. In a related development, one Samson Eze was arrested at Omozekwa in Eza North local government area of the state and confessed that himself and others now at large were responsible for the attack and burning of the Federal High Court, Abakaliki, on the 27th of April 2021. 1 English pistol loaded with 8 rounds of .9 mm ammunition was recovered from him. Similarly, you will recall that on the 14th of April 2021, the policemen attached to Safer Highway stationed along Ogoja Abakaliki Expressway were attacked and some fatally wounded. Ozigbo Jonah, alias Ojukwu, and others confessed that they were responsible for the attack on the same date, which was further corroborated by the recovery of AK-47 rifle belonging to the personnel from the suspects. The gang led the police operative to arrest a native doctor, one Nwefuru Chukwuebaka, alias Double Gang Switch, as he claimed to be both a native and a pastor who specializes in both spiritual healing and juju invocations, who fortifies them against bullet penetration by giving them marks on their both shoulder. The said native doctor was arrested, his shrine destroyed, and the following items were recovered from him: 1 live tortoise, 2 IPOB flags, large quantity of juju charms, some Bibles of different version. The native doctor had since been charged to court and remanded in prison custody for aiding and abetting as a criminal participant. In the same vein, you will recall that on the 18th May 2021, at about 17:00 hours, following intelligence report on movement of arms and ammunition, and the report of armed robbers terrorizing Isu in Onitsha local government, in swift police action, one Elu Ekwewu Emmanuel was arrested. He made useful statement to the police and led the police operatives to the house of their gang leader, popularly known as Blood, other names unknown, who is alleged to have been terrorizing the area and the mastermind of the various attacks on police divisional headquarters in the area, namely Onitsha, Abomige, and Ohazara. Blood and his cohort, on sighting the police, opened fire on the operatives who gallantly fought back. In the process, Blood was apprehended with gunshot injuries, while others escaped into the nearby bush with bullet wounds. Blood's house / premises were immediately searched. The following items were recovered: one double-barreled English gun with 11 live cartridges, one locally made single-barrel gun, one riot police smoke gunner stolen from Ohazara Police Divisional Headquarters on the 6th of May 2021 when it was attacked by the hoodlums. 3 police batons, 1 hand grenade, 1 canister of tear gas, 2 police belts, 2 police radio communication handsets with chargers, all robbed from Onitsha Divisional Headquarters when it was attacked and burned down on the 4th of February 2021, and 1 box filled with assorted charms. The gang are also responsible for the attacks on some government facilities and the killing of security agents in the area. Another case of murder and unlawful possession of firearm. On the 31st of May 2021, while personnel of Ebubagu security outfits were on township patrol at Nkaliki Road behind Ebonyi State House of Assembly complex, they intercepted 1 tricycle, popularly known as KK, with 3 occupants. They were accosted in an attempt to escape. One of the suspects, Itumu Nathaniel, aged about 24, pulled out a locally made pistol and shot one of the Ebubagu personnel, called Idike Agu, on the chest and escaped. Idike Agu was rushed to Alex Ikweme Federal Teaching Hospital for medical treatment, but was confirmed dead by the medical doctor on duty, and the body deposited in the same hospital mortuary for preservation and autopsy. The 2 other occupants of the KK Napep were arrested. Ikweli Chidimma, 22 years, and Unwali Amarachi. The suspect made useful statement to the police, which aided the arrest of the fleeing murderer called Nathaniel Itumo. The suspect confessed to the crime and narrated how he shot and killed Idika Abu with a Beretta pistol locally made to avert arrest, and that he acquired the said pistol in Lagos for self-defense in the ongoing crisis between Igbo and Izi indigenes. The said pistol with 1 live ammunition was recovered from him. The suspect had since been charged to court for unlawful possession of firearm and murder. Arrest of suspected armed robber and recovery of snatched vehicles. In continuation of the aggressive manhunt to rid the states of criminal elements, on the 11th of this month, 2021, one Chijoke Oke, a suspected armed robber and car snatcher, was arrested at Onweke in Eza South, local government area of the state. The following items were recovered from him: 10 AK-47 live ammunitions, 1 Nissan bus with registration number FJJ869ZV, 1 Toyota Camry Spider with registration number KPE60AA, 2 expanded cartridges, and 1 Super Cub motorcycle. The suspect confessed that the 2 vehicles were robbed by 2 of his cohorts, Ferdinand and 1 other in Imo and Anambra State respectively. The said gang members were alleged to have fled the scene on certain policemen on the day he was arrested. Chijioke denied taking part in the car snatching and armed robbery, but confessed to be a member of Aye Confraternity and had taken part in many court clashes that have claimed many lives in the states. On this note, I therefore call on the general public, particularly those whose vehicle match the description of the stolen vehicles, to come along with proof of ownership for possible claim of their vehicles. Meanwhile, frantic effort is ongoing to apprehend the fleeing suspects. At this juncture, I wish to commend the gallant efforts of the officers and men of Ebonyi State Police Command who took the fight to the hoodlums while putting their lives on line. With this meager achievement to restore peace and tranquility in Ebonyi State. I also appreciate the collaborative support of other sister security agencies, the military, the DSS, personnel of Ebubagu Security Outpost, local vigilantes, and other law-abiding citizens in Ebonyi State. I must extend my profound gratitude to our amiable Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, PSC Dada, NPM, FDC, for his huge support to the command since his assumption of office. Similarly, I wish to thank immensely His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, Chief Engineer David Umweze Umahi, for his gigantic support and robust assistance to the command, without which this achievement would have been a mirage. And the good people of Ebonyi State for their support and undiluted trust in the ability of the police to restore peace and sanity in the state. On a final note, I wish to use this medium to call on persons or group of persons in possession of weapons, either stolen from security agencies or illegally acquired, to return same to the nearest police station or any appropriate authority and will be granted amnesty. I equally enjoin the residents of the states to remain vigilant, law-abiding, and do not hesitate to call on the police if any illegal act or suspicious movement or breach of peace is noticed in any part of the state. If you see something, say something. The command can be reached through the following GSM number for emergency numbers: 070-64-515-5001 or 070-3423-2135. Thanks for the audience and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Wait. Let's ask this for all the please. I have questions.
Vanguard newspaper. First of all, I want to commend the effort of the command, which has really paid off. As suspects have been arrested. I want to also appreciate a very fancy commissioner of internal security who is not hypocritical when it comes to the issue of security. So I need to commend him for that. My heart goes for the young man that was shot dead. And I'm in deep pains. Why? Because he's a youth. I'd like to know what the ministry is doing for these young men who have decided to support security in Ebonyi. Many things that happen in the country where even some security personnel they die and no much attention is given to them and their families. These young men have sacrificed themselves, and I know that their death will not be worthless. They are supposed to be worthwhile. So I would like to ask the Commission what the state government is doing for that young man. Do they have any arrangements in case any of them dies? What happens to their families and their loved ones? Are they just sacrificing their lives just that way? That's the first question. Number two, we are aware of the crisis that happened between IPOB and the sea, and there was a spillover into the state capital. Those of us in the media decided not to blow it so that it will not bring a burden to the capital. If you look at the national media, some of us did not write about it. So I would like to ask her, was the command able to make some arrests? Because we heard about some killings happening in the capital. So
actually, let me just reply to you. We are making everything possible, humanly possible, to ensure that all those good things are done. At present, we have some of the suspects. They are being detained and they are being interrogated for further this. Maybe in our next bulletin or press, we will bring them out so that you can be able to see.
CP sir.
Yes.
Yes, I have a question. Sorry, maybe you are telling me. No, it's not one difference. CP sir, my question is this. We know that the federal government, through the Nigerian Police High Command, launched Operation Restore Peace. And I believe that part of the efforts that brought or resulted to this achievement is because of the ongoing operation. We would like to know from the police command, are there other components of this Operation Restore Peace that we brought to bear? Because you find out that these young men have been brainwashed to embark on attack against the police, which I think is senseless. So are there other components of this Operation Restore Peace that will help our young men to distance themselves or withdraw from this movement that appear to be against?
Actually, advice have gone far, and the government of the Ebonyi State is doing everything possible to see how they can bring this situation in. And those suspects arrested. That is why we said, if you are in possession of any weapons